What's up, Pirates? Ray Talks here with Awaken TCG, and today, yes, sir, we got the new starter decks. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and take a look at what's in them, see if any of the cards are playable, and then I will have all the contents of each deck in the description below. Because I know sometimes you want to see how many cards of how much of each card is in the deck, and as you can see here. It doesn't show you the contents on the back, which it did in the earlier decks, like the first four starter decks, and then like after that they just started not putting them on for some reason. But anyways, let's go ahead and get right into it. So here are the decks we're going to be looking at here. So we'll start off with, this is ST08, so we'll go ahead and start off with this first here. We're going to go ahead and get this bad boy opened here. It's going to take out the Don cards, set those aside. So, for starters here, we have Luffy, Monkey.D.Luffy. This card says, when a character is KO'd, give up to one rested Don card to this leader. So here is our leader right there. And then we're going to go ahead and get right into it. So for starters, we have two Utas. Right here, this Uta here says, this character cannot be KO'd in battle by leaders. Activate main. You may rest this character, give up to one of your opponent's characters -2 cost during this turn. So it's like a combo card. The art's pretty sick. The foil on the card is amazing, honestly. And then we have two Shanks. 9-drop Shanks. It says, you may trash one card from hand. KO is an on-play effect. KO all characters with cost 1 or less. So another one of those cards that we might see played, because Zoro is rampant right now. Zoro's rampant, has a bunch of 1-drops in the deck, and so we might see this in play. I don't know if it'll ever be useful, but so next up we have 4 Gaimons here. These Gaimons are just 2-drop vanillas. 2-drop, 4,000 power, 1k counter, so it's a vanilla stat line here. We have 4 of those. Then we have 4 Kobys. You may rest this character K up to one of your opponent's characters with cost 2 or less. 4-drop, 1,000 counter and 1,000 power. So we have 4 of those. K up to one of your characters cost with 2 or less. This card seems a little underwhelming. Definitely a KO card, but I think if you're KOing a 2 or less, at that point you maybe use the other Koby. I don't know. There's probably better combos. Then we run 4 blockers. This Shirhoshi here. Let's go ahead and show it to you guys. This Shirhoshi says, on play, give to one of your opponent's characters -4 cost during this turn. So not a bad card. This might see some play here, because -4 for 4 Don. I mean, it is a little costly, but definitely maybe could see some use where you're setting up defense and you go for a big KO as well. You never know for that one. And then we have another trigger, play this card, 3-drop 1,000 blocker. Might be useful in the black yellow mom deck. So some Vivis there. Then we have on play, give to one of your opponent's characters -2 cost during this turn. A 1-drop 2,000 Higuma. Another combo card. This deck is just a bunch of minus cost. Let's see here. Coming up next, we have a Makino. On play, if there's a character cost 0, draw a card. 2k counter, and it is a 2-drop, 0 power, obviously just counter card, but the effect is a little underwhelming. Just draw 1. More often than not, unless you need like one specific card, you don't really want to play this, as you're giving up a 2k for something random. And this on your board doesn't really make sense. It's a 0 power. Next up, we have Monkey.D.Garp. Is a 5-drop, 7,000 power, 1k counter. So this is going to be a vanilla stat line here. See that a little better. Vanilla stat line. We're going to go ahead and put him here. Next up, we have Monkey.D.Luffy. He is going to be a 3-drop vanilla. So 1k counter, 5,000 power. So another vanilla stat line there. And then it looks like we're going to have a 4-drop as well. which is another, so Laboon, also a vanilla stat line 4 drop. There we go. And then we have coming up on our last 3 cards of the deck. So we have a Mr. 2 Bonkuri, Don X1. At the end of a battle in which this character battles your opponent's character, you may KO the opponent's character you battled with. If you do, KO this character. So kind of like a poison effect if it's Don ×1, but I guess you can just KO a big drop. Right, so let's see if we can focus that. Right there. 5, no counter, 5 drop, 6,000 power. Yeah, so like if this goes to battle with a 9-cost Whitebeard, you can go ahead and KO their character, KO this character, right? I'm going to put that here. And then we have 2 Gum Gum Bells. Main, you may add 1 card from the top of your life cards to your hand. Give up to one of your opponent's characters -7 cost during this turn. And then it has a trigger. Add 1 black character card with a cost 2 or less from trash to your hand. So definitely a aggressive card. A drawback, obviously, is you have to add 1 life to your hand. But if you have a huge lead and you can use this to bring more momentum to your board and you don't mind losing the life, it could see some play. The trigger's all right. Not the best. And then the last card in this is Gum Gum Pistol. Main, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost 2 or less. And the trigger is draw 1 card. So we might see this we might see this being played. Black has a lot of effects where it just gets rid of cost. I can't focus this. You guys get it though. All right. So that is going to be it for this deck. Overall, I'm going to give this deck, it's just very costly. I mean, maybe some of these cards can be played. I mean, the Shanks is not bad for sure. I'll give Shanks like a A+. Big body, definitely can get some KOs off, especially if you drop a Isho on curve and then you Don ×1 because your next turn you're going to have 10. Don ×1. Now you're killing everything because this kills a 1 or less. And so -3. So any 4 drops get KO'd as well as soon as you play the Shank. So maybe we can see some of those combos, which wouldn't be bad, especially versus Zoro. Definitely never getting a Kuzan Shanks off. But overall, I'm going to go ahead and give this deck a B-. Definitely some good vanilla cards in here. Definitely don't see many of these cards being used. We're going B-, and that's being generous because the Luffy leader is it's Luffy. Come on, Luffy and Shanks, right? So just off lore, we're giving this a B-. This blocker might see some play here just because it's trigger, right? So it's another Shirhoshi, not Shirhoshi. It's another I'm blanking out the other yellow trigger, Brulee. It's another Brulee right here, blocker. This blocker probably won't see it being played. Other than that, I don't. Other than the Shanks and this Vivi, I don't really see any of the other cards being played too much in any meta decks. We're gonna go ahead and go over the Yamato deck now and see what kind of content's on the. I don't know any of these cards previously. I know they're already out, so you can look them up and see what the cards do, but I have not seen them, so this is my first reaction to them. This black deck is definitely nice. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a shot. We'll get some gameplay of this yellow deck versus the black deck here soon. Yeah, let's go ahead and show it off to the camera. Ooh. I don't know how to. Just point the light at it. Ooh. That's such a nice card right there. That's such a nice card. We go ahead and leave that there for you guys to enjoy. All right, so boom. First up, we have Kouzuki Oden. Don ×1. This character gains double attack. On KO, you may trash 2 cards from your hand. Add up to 1 card from the top of your deck to the top of your life. So that is Kouzuki Oden. He is a 7-drop 7K. If I'm gonna be honest, I like the double attack from him. Uh, would I play this over a Big Mom? Maybe. It's more aggressive for sure. The thing is though, with the 10 Mom package, you want your opponent to have life to take. So running this could be a little backwards because, like, let's say you get an attack off, they just take double attack, and then now your 10 Mom turn feels a little not as good. When you 10 Mom and you only give yourself a life, it's definitely not as strong as if you also trash one of your opponent's life. But definitely might have to give that card a try. Seems like it could work. So up next we have Ace. It says once per turn, if this character would be KO'd, you may trash one card from the top or bottom of your life cards instead. And he is a no counter, 6 drop, 7,000 power. As you can see here. Trying to get it to focus. There we go. Really cool looking card. Definitely interesting. Because you trash it. So on KO, you trash one card. So it's like instead of thunderbolting, you keep them alive for the same effect. I don't know how good that actually is. It could be very good because the yellow deck doesn't really have a big 6 drop or big turn 3 going second, right, on 6 Dawn. So just playing this big body on top of that could be pretty interesting. We'll see. I definitely want to test these yellow cards more than the black cards. We're gonna go ahead and see how it goes, but for now we're gonna keep on showing off the deck. So right here, trigger, it's Uzuki Tempura. Rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost 2 or less, then add this card to your hand. So it's a rest trigger of a 2 or less, and it's a 4 drop, 5,000 power, 1k counter. So definitely an interesting card. Would be nice in like the Zoro matchup, the Law matchup. You take life, you trigger this, you rest their character that they have already played. I don't know if we're gonna see too much play of that. It's like a smoothie cracker stat line. Maybe in certain decks you can take out the crackers and just replace it with that. Maybe for some matchup tech. We have a Ulti, Animal Kingdom Pirates, 4 drop, 6,000 power, 1k counter. So that is a vanilla stat line. There's 4 of those. Then up next we have Dawn ×1 on a Kaido. If you have 2 or less life cards, this character cannot be KO'd in battle. So as long as he has 1 attached. Go ahead and show you guys here. So 1k counter, 4 drop, 5k power. And it is 4 of those as well. Then we have here a Land of Wano yellow card, Kouzuki Momonosuke. This is a 2 drop vanilla card, vanilla stat line here. And go ahead and set that down. It's 4 of those. And now we have a blocker, Shinobu Land of Wano blocker. This says on block you may add 1 card from the top or bottom of your life cards to your hand. This character gains plus 4,000 power during this battle. So it's a 3 drop, 2,000 power, no counter stat line, but you can add the top or bottom of your life cards to your hand to gain a plus 4,000 for this battle, which doesn't seem too good because that's a huge risk you're taking just to keep a blocker alive, where next turn it's going to be a 2,000. Because something like that just gets KO'd by a Marco. That thing gets KO'd by a Vista. There's so many things that just kill it for free if it's on the board. So, maybe an extra turn on the board is not what you want. Maybe you just want the blocker to block and then die, right? No trigger on that thing. So up next we have Ushimaru. Dawn X1, when attacking, you may add 1 card from the top or bottom of your life to your hand. Play up to 1 yellow Land of Wano type card with cost 4 or less from your hand. So it's like a combo card. 4 or less, Land of Wano. I'm trying to think if we're going to get some over here. We'll see. But this is it right here. It's a 5 drop, 6k, no counter. But you can attack once, take a life, and drop a 4 drop for free. Or not for free, for 1 Dawn and 1 life, right? Essentially. Here we have a trigger, KO up to 1 of your opponent's characters with a cost 1 or less, and then add this card to your hand. So This might be a good trigger card to run versus red decks. Might see some of these. And the cool thing about it is you add it to your hand, right? So you can still use it as a 1K counter. I don't know if you're ever dropping that 3-drop on the board. Oh, here we have a Land of Wano Straw Hat Luffy, which is a 3-drop and a vanilla stat line here. 1K counter, 5,000 power. Cool art on that one. Definitely liking these yellow cards more. These are my first impressions. So we have a 3-drop Land of Wano, 2K counters, one of our 2K counters here. You may add one card from the top or bottom of your life to your hand. This character gains plus 2,000 power until the start of your next turn. And so trading out that 2,000 power in the counter, but you can get it back if you add a life card to your hand for a whole turn. So not the greatest card there. Here we have a 5-drop Land of Wano vanilla stat line, 5-drop, 7,000 power, 1,000 counter here. And then now we have these cards finally, the Narikabura arrow, which is if you have two or less life cards, give up to one of your opponent's leader's characters minus 3,000 power during this turn. We have 2 of these here. So I will see some of these being played. It's a good 1-drop. It's like a guard point essentially, except guard point's better because you don't have to be at 2 or less life. Then we have Thunder Bagua, 4 of these. Up to one of your leader or character card gains plus 4,000 power during this battle. Then if you have 2 or less life cards, add up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost 3 or less at the top or bottom of their life cards face up. And then it has a trigger of draw 1. It's a 4K counter. You give them another life instead of a 3-drop on board, but I don't know how useful that could be. Maybe, yeah, no, I don't ever see this being too good. Because then you just give them that card but back in life and you got to do more work. But here is for those. So I wanted to see if there was a Land of Wano 4-drop that was a vanilla stat line, but I don't think there is. So there's this one here, which is Land of Wano. And I think that's about it. So you could play this. Essentially, you can play this off of this card here to combo. Obviously you can play the Luffy here because you play 1 Land of Wano type. I don't see you ever playing that. You can play this blocker. This is a 5-drop. It has to be a 4 or less. So I think this is the best target for it, and then this Luffy here, which is just a vanilla stat line. But out of these cards here, I definitely do see some of these being played. These 2 right here in particular, I'm sure we'll run into some yellow decks that run these here. Strong cards potentially could do some damage, especially this Ace. I think this Ace definitely might have a place in the meta. Just for the fact that if you go second and you get on curve, you can play this on turn 3. This arrow here, 1 Dawn for 3,000 puts you at a guard point range, which is huge. And then the trigger on this is you may trash 2 cards, add up to 1 card from the top of your deck to the top of your life cards, right? So the trigger is really good. It's like the 2-drop 4K trigger that are being ran in the yellow decks currently. So I definitely will say that these are going to be ran in decks. These aces for sure. These cards here where you rest a character, they are a 1K counter. They might. These right here will maybe have a spot because it does have the 1K counter. These I don't see being played. Other than that, I think that's about it. Maybe this Kaido. I mean, you could try it out. It just takes, a spot for the cracker or the smoothie, which already are really good, except they don't have counter, right? So if you run something like this instead, where in trigger you're getting to rest something, clear board, or this where you can just, swing for 6. If you're at below 2 life, you swing for 6. You get a 6K swing, and then this thing can't be KO'd in body. They have to ignore it. So you can, set up some cool stuff with that. But overall, I'm going to give this deck a B+. Definitely better than the Luffy deck, but I wouldn't consider this an A tier deck. I mean, most of these cards here aren't in the meta. We're going to see a couple of them only, but I think more than the black cards that we just saw. So I think I'm going to have to give this deck here, the Yamato deck, the edge. And we're going to go ahead and wrap this video up. Appreciate you guys for watching. Here, let me go ahead and go to the outro screen. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all the subs. I've only been making videos, me and my buddy Jimper. We're the ones in charge of this channel. We've only been making videos for 15 to 20 days. I don't know when I'm gonna upload this, but we appreciate all the support. We're up to 41 subscribers, man. It means a lot to us. We're going to continue to drop daily videos, daily. I can't stress it enough. We're going to be consistent with it. And we just appreciate you guys watching all of our videos and subscribing to our channel. Anyways, this is going to be the end of this video. I'll have down in the description basically the deck list, you know, how much of each card is in each deck. We'll have that in the description below. Just go ahead and check it out if you want. I'll see you guys on the next video. Make sure to comment, like, subscribe. Peace.